So when I was a junior, we had no sports or extracurricular activities in Rockford, and the church filled that void, didn't miss a beat. We didn't have dances at school, so we had gatherings at church. You name it, walk-ins, just Friday night gatherings at church. Pretty much any Friday you weren't doing something at church already, you could go over to Ted and Judy's house and hang out. There'd be kids waiting. It was just a wonderful, wonderful time. All kids from all different schools. You didn't even care that they went to a different school because you were all St. Mark youth, and we got along so well. And that kind of pulled us through that time of nothing to do. And I don't know, something happened at one of those events. Somebody asked me something, I can't remember what it was. That'll come back to me later. So, yeah, this fuzzy-headed skinny kid that shook her hair all over me and got me wet, she went to Guilford, it turns out. And I remember walking down the hall, minding my own business, mind you, and bam! She ran into me. And I don't mean she walked by and said hi, I mean she ran into me. Boom, just practically knocked me over. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And I thought, well, that's a coincidence. Until it happened again a couple days later. It's like, okay, what's up? You know, nowadays I think they call that stalking. But back then I guess it was dating. I don't know. I'm sure that name will come back to me sooner or later. Oh, just a minute. Oh, I got a text. Oh, it's my mom. She says she's proud of me. Oh, and Pastor Mark says I've used my 7 minutes, I think. The 80s is the next chapter, and I don't think anything happened in the 80s. Oh, wait, I remember. Remember that fuzzy-headed skinny girl? We got married in 1984. I knew I'd remember her name eventually. I think 80s are about when I started to realize what a treasure we had in those charter members too, and you start to see them go, especially some of the older ones. It was kind of a bittersweet time, but I got out of college and I was starting a family, and I don't have the strong church memories as much as I did when I was growing up. Other than in 1989, I contributed a member to the church, my son Ben, and lost my grandpa. And then in the 90s, of course, I contributed another son and watched a musical at the church, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I don't know how many of you remember that. But that was an outstanding musical that Jenny Fox and the crew put together, and that caused me to realize I should be singing again in the choir. So, ta-da, I started singing in the 90s again. That was a big step for me, though. I don't know, I really enjoy it, and I'm glad to do it. And in a serious note, I guess, 2000s is a time where there's been a lot of goodbyes for me from people, you know, that have been special in my life, grandparents, sister, choir family members. But it's also a wonderful time of rebirth and growth. I think we have a really good thing going at this point. Vibrant church, good pastors, great leadership, and I will end on the note that I think we're in a really good place and built a good foundation and brought us to a really good time, and off to the next speaker who will talk about now. Thank you.